Welcome, friends. Today, we are doing another live stream. Marvelous. How are we? I am back once again. Once again, I am back with another live stream for your delectation, for your enjoyment, to see how you are. And how are you? I am fantastic and I am doing really well. You see me. You shouldn't be able to see us. Good evening, John Hoy. Good evening, Andrej. How are you? I got some aniseed sweets yesterday, and they were like hard sweets, hard candy as the Americans call it. Boiled sweets. Fucking, they've absolutely destroyed my tongue. My tongue's gone mental. I'm not very happy at all. Fortunately, it hasn't affected my sense of smell. Ahoy, Stephs. Bone to bone. Did I watch Adesanya lose on Saturday? I didn't know. But I did hear about it. Apparently the guy beat him and beat him well. But apparently the guy that bit him was he's a little bit strange, bless him. I'm full of a cold. The heat wave was less than a week ago and now I've got a cold. Oh no. Oh no, Andrej. You'll be okay. It is the beginning. I'm getting the flu jab. I'm getting that in early October, so that'll be fun. Duck, got a chance to buy Dolce & Gabbana Masculine. What's the max you pay for a big bottle, and is it worth vintage prices? No, it's a Burger Musk. It's nice, but that's it. Don't pay big money. Don't pay big money at all. It's nice, but it's not a great perfume. It's not like one of the great perfumes of all time. Do you know what I mean? It's not worth vintage prices. It's not worth anything like that. It's just a Burger Musk. You know, you can get Dior Homme Sport, or something similar. They're 10 a penny. It might have been a fresh new idea back in the day, but not now. Not now. Not now at all. Friends, I have an announcement. Not that serious, but I'm going to let you know something. Tomorrow, I am hoping that I will be filming my top 10 perfumes for spring and summer 2023. Most ones, you know, and it's a good one. I have tallied the list, and it is fun. So I now know what they are. You will hopefully get to see that video tomorrow. Hello, Germs. You are wearing Bois d'Argent. Ah, yes. Let's see. What did I wear today? Today I wore something not entirely dissimilar. I wore this Bellarme, and I wore it to the physio. And I sprayed a lot of it on. I'm sure the physio was enchanted. Did you see the email about Neil Vermeer now being stocked at St. Celier? Yes, and I'm going to be getting a sample set. So I am pretty fucking happy about that, I can tell you. So now I don't have to be ordering from France like a silly man. You know? Spaced out, welcome. Tomorrow my bottle of shite is coming through. Cannot wait to try it out. What is your bottle of shite? Finally smell Gucci Pour Homme 2. Very underwhelming, especially for the prices they're going for. Very weak. Yes. For the prices it's going for, it's obscene. It's not a classic vintage perfume at all, to be fair. At all, in my opinion. But I actually prefer it to the first one. I very much prefer it to the first one, if you want the truth. So, there is that. I've still got a bottle. I'm looking at it over there. Thought about wearing it today. So yes, this bottle of Bellarme. Oh, irisy. Excuse me, iris. Big iris. A little bit of saltiness in there as well. Same here. Glad I didn't rush to order them direct from Neil Vermeer. No. Upsetting. Musk 25, if I don't like it, I already have a guy wanting to swap with a Gaiac 10 on Parfumo. Aha! Thank you for reminding me. That's right, friends. I have started the arduous task, the arduous but noble task of uploading my collection to Parfumo. And I have started, so I'll finish. That is going to take some fucking time, I can tell you. That is going to take some time. You are selling it on Parfumo, or what? Who's selling what on Parfumo? I'm not going to lie to you, I was nearly late for the physio today because I was uploading my collection to Parfumo. Parfumo works much better on a mobile phone than Fragrantica does. Fragrantica's fucking grunt for that shit. It's absolutely, I wouldn't say it's unusable, but it's not that far off, to be honest. It's not great, friends. It's not great. It's a bit of a kick in the tits. You're trying to do stuff and the button, the response time is terrible when you click the button. Can I ask how much you paid for your D&G masculine? About 50-60 quid. Cuckoo. Welcome, Pradeep. And that's about what it's worth, you know. Le Bob. Welcome, how are you? I am, how are you? I'm doing alright. Tonight is Thursday, which is obviously the night of poison, but poison isn't so poisonous. Now that I'm taking this, I take this medication for my stomach now, called lansoprazole. And it bizarrely has stopped me feeling like shit all the time. It's been brilliant. And the doctor reckons it's because I take so many tablets that my stomach is being like, oh no, these are all harsh chemicals. This isn't like the usual meat or milk or potato or chocolate or oats that you usually find in like the fucking forest, you know, some berries and shit. These are harsh synthetic chemicals you are ingesting, and we don't like it down here. So he gave me a tablet that would help my stomach, and it's fucking worked, and I feel much better for it. When medicine goes right. Rich, I'm searching for a leather perfume. I noticed you have a bottle of Peau d'Espagne by Santa Maria Novella. What are your thoughts on that one so far? Well, so far I haven't worn it. But I intend to. I intend to decant some, and I intend to wear it, but how? Oh, there's a jet flying overhead. The Russians must be acting funny fuckers. Maybe there will be nuclear war. Who knows? I am waiting for the weather to cool down a bit before I crack into the Peau d'Espagne, because it is quite a birchy little number, you know, considerably birchy. You birch you. So that's fun. But when it does, it's cooled down a little bit this week. It's not boiling hot anymore. Yikes, Parfumo. Where they think talking about everything other than the perfume sounds sophisticated, says Proddy. Yeah, I'm not gonna be engaging with I'm not gonna be engaging in the forums or the fucking switchboards and all of that kind of shit. Fuck that. I'm just going there to log me collection, to keep track of what I wear day to day, and if I need to find out things about certain perfumes, you know. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't know how many I've uploaded so far. Oh. Oh no. Parfumo, how are you? Scale 101, how are you? What's with all this perfume talk? Let's play video games. Thought about it tonight, but I've decided against it. What about Jiggy B bottle worth it? Someone's selling, and what's the right price? No idea. The right price is what you're willing to pay for it. Oh, hi, says Parfumo. I ordered Shalimar Millesime Iris today. Ooh, I saw Smurfy Girlie did a video about that yesterday. That's quite interesting. Jura Rose is desperate to find that. I think that could sell out quite quickly. Smell out quite quickly. I think that could sell out quite quickly. Ryan Y, welcome. I use the forums in Fragrantica mostly because I don't really know anyone else who's into fragrances, says Ryan. This is what the internet is for, to be fair. The internet's definitely for that kind of thing, you know. Andrei Kuta. What's your favourite Les Indomables favourite fragrance, Rich? Probably Rose de Jamal. Probably Rose de Jamal. It's fantastic. Oriental Velours I really like. I like all the ones I've got. I really like all the ones I've got. Galen is here. Howdy, kids. That doesn't sound perverted. Scent of the day is Mario Valentino Ocean Rain. Ocean Rain. Is that the one that the last Edmund Rudnitska? Oh, excuse me whilst I hydrate. That's right, that's quite sought after, isn't it? Is it good? It's meant to be the last Rudnitska. A tour de force. Underrated. I use Fragrantica and Parfumo to keep track of my collection and look at the notes and have a general idea. Yeah, that's kind of what I'd do, Parfumo, to be honest with you. A lot like Diorella. Has anyone watched the Mugler documentary from the Fragrance Apprentice? I thought it was really good. Yeah, I watched it. It was really good. It was very good. Does current Egoist have a performance issue, you think? Compared to the vintage one, it does, yes. Excuse me. Compared to the vintage one. But then I say that about a lot of perfumes, don't I? So, who knows? Johan POV, welcome. I'm okay, how are you? Priority says still waiting for the day when I will understand the Mugler hype. Harsh. Fantastic perfume house. Highly recommended. Well, it was. It'll be shite now. I'm buying a bottle of vintage Antace off my man in Japan, and it's got a hole in it. Well, the box has got a hole in it. So that's not much fun, but it's cheap as chips and it's full and still sealed. The Egoist, I mean, compared to anything. I sprayed a good 3 sprays on my wrist 2 hours ago and it went poof, all gone. You could be anosmic to it. Have you asked anybody else to smell it? Because that can happen. And it's very unfortunate because there's very little you can do about that. You know? Like, I don't know how long you've been familiar with it, but the longer you wear something, the more used to it, the more anosmic you become to it. So this is one of the reasons that I rest my collection for 6 months of the year, you know, so that I don't get so used to it that I can't smell them anymore. I wore Belle Arme today and I smelled it all day. And I haven't touched that for like well over 6 months, you know. So, excuse me whilst I hydrate, by the way, I beg your pardon. Oh, get me up. I don't recommend Pure Energy, but a sampler is definitely the worst Mugler. Have you ever smelled the Ultimate? The Ultimate's fucking woeful. Oh, it's so bad. I wasn't that impressed with Cryptomint either. I thought Cryptomint, I used to like Cryptomint the first time I smelled it. But then I smelled it, I had it, I owned it. I think I gave it to Richie G. I think, I might be wrong. And I was just like, do you know what it is? I just don't love this. Like, it had a blue kind of vibe to it. With its greenness. If it was pure mint, if it was Amen with mint in it, it would have been amazing, but it wasn't. Scent of the day is Venetia. What a beauty, says Johan. It is good. Pardeep, the Mugler hype was well deserved as he pioneered an unbreakable rubberized bottle. Yes, much needed in my collection, I can tell you. You bounce that fucker off the walls. Hey, Rich got a bottle of vintage Zeno by Davidoff. As an owner of vintage heritage, I can see the similarities, but I wouldn't say they're exactly the same, says Splinter. No, I would agree. Zeno's a lot more heavy-handed than the heritage. The heritage is obviously girlonified, you know what I mean? The heritage is obviously like, there's a lot more... There's a lot more girl-on going on in the heritage, you know, the blending's better, the subtlety of it. I don't even consider Ultimate to be part of the Amen line. It's nothing like the rest, says Ryan. No, I would agree. So if you wear one fragrance for months, you won't be able to detect it anymore. It's not quite that simple, but that's like... It's getting at the point I was talking about. If you wear one fragrance for months, you're going to become less and less and less aware of it over time. You'll still be able to smell it, especially as soon as you put it on, but it'll be less as apparent. It won't be as strong. It won't be as, like I say, I'm using Bellarm as an example because I wore it today. I hadn't smelled that. I hadn't used that. I hadn't, just, it was completely out of sight, out of mind, because it was in the other drawer. And I sprayed it on. It's all I could smell for about 4 hours, 5 hours, and you don't get that usually with your scent of the day, do you? I like the modern Davidoff Zeno, says Lane. Welcome, Lane. Scent of the day is Armani Mania. So like a wife. What's like a wife? Kerosene haul coming. Nice. That brings me on to something, actually. I'm going to talk about kerosene in a minute. Avon Mesmerized, discontinued as Vibes of Zeno Davidoff. It seriously punches above its weight. Recommended also by Derek of the Scented Devil blog. Yes, he is a massive Avon fan. We've all got houses like that, I feel. You know? We've all got houses like that where we feel... I mean, I've got a few of them. But he's like a committed Avonist, you know? I've coined a phrase there, an Avonist, you know? He died in the wool, as they say. He loves his Avon. I must admit, I've smelled a couple of Avon fragrances over the years and thought, not bad at all. Oh, I've never had one, though. Your nose gets used to it the more often you wear it. I've had to give some fragrances a break and come back to them being able to smell them as normal. Yep, that's exactly it. That is exactly it. Just give yourself a break. That is serious. It's one of the reasonings behind the biannual rotation. You know, better than a Rogerist, yes. Better than a Rogerist, a Rogerer, if you will. Anyway, sorry for that. Today, my friends, I received in the post a sample which I forgot I owned. I'll come on to that, Gail, and I'll tell you about the Bally. I ordered this, which is... I just knew that was going to happen. Which is a partner of this. I got a sample of... I got a sample of followed, if you will. And I could smell that shit before I opened the package. I got it from Rulia White. And I love Follow. It's the best coffee fragrance, I think. I know it's cliche, but the truth's the truth. You know, what do you want me to say? My plaque has fallen off, and the black stickerness, or whatever it is, the wrap around the bottle is not in the finest of fettle, but not to worry. You know, didn't buy it for the bottle, and it is a little brand. It's not like Dior. If it was Dior, I'd send it back. Followed. I haven't tried it, and I'm not gonna try it at fucking 8:30 at night either, because fuck. But it's got a spiciness. It's got a spiciness to it, from what I can smell. So I'll be doing a first impressions upon that and a couple of other fragrances in the coming days. Not tomorrow, though. Tomorrow is spring and summer most worn list. But you can expect to see that from me in the coming days. Okay. Galen asks, how's that Bally Masculine? I've got a couple of bottles of this. Just the 25 mls. Not an easy perfume to find, I can tell you. It's a musky boy. You know? It's a husky musky little unit. 25 ml. I've got a couple of 10 mls of it. And I have a couple of those 25 ml. So I've got about 70 ml. I'm very sorry. 65, 70 ml. Hello, Dute. Duther. How are you? Should have grabbed a lot of kerosene a while ago. What was I thinking? I don't know what you were thinking. He's discontinued some stuff recently. I sampled Mer 55 from the Labo. I wasn't really impressed. Just don't think it was for me. There are some fragrances like that. I don't think the Labo as a house is for me. There's a couple of things that are alright. I like the Tay, but it smells like Tay Noir. Smells like Gucci Pour Homme 2 though. Iris one's alright, but fucking if I was going to get an iris, I'd rather get one that had real iris in, and everything in the Labo's completely fucking synthetic, and that's fine, but if you can get one with the real stuff in, that's just where I prefer to put my money, do you know what I mean? Ow. Mer 55. I don't know. Don't know how I feel about the old Mer 55. We'll have to see. But Julie 24 is nice. What's that? Is that a Labo? Oh, they're very heavy-handed. and feel unfinished. One of them smells like a burnt sausage. And gentlemen, don't burn your sausage. Patchouli 24, I say. Is the modern formulation of Frederic Moore Monsieur and French Lover still worth buying? Monsieur hasn't been out that long. I'd be surprised if it was reformulated. French Lover, yes, I've got a bottle. It's soft, but I think part of it's meant to be soft. I would love to have smelled the original vintage. That's like my thing, isn't it? I like to smell the original of perfumes, because the original release, any changes, any deviation from the original release is a reformulation, or it's not the same perfume. You know, that is not what they agreed upon when they agreed to release it. That's not what the perfumer had in mind. It's not what the person who signed off on the perfume as what they wanted to release under their name had in mind. You know, so that's one of my reasons for enjoying the first formulations of things, you know. It's kind of like a feedback loop. Every time there's a change, it gets further and further away. Every time there's like a loop, a revolution, it's it gets kind of I don't know. It gets away from the original idea, doesn't it? They called French Lover torrid, hairy chest, rugged, masculine. Makes no sense with the smell. Agreed. I think that Jura said before that Monsieur was reformulated because of a banned material recently. That would not surprise either, to be honest. There were lots of perfumes that fell foul of that shit. A lot, including Grey Vetiver, which I managed to back up, thank God. They called... No. Neiman Marcus is a wasteland now. Huge mind games push. Like, everything they wanted to push was crap. Was that crap? Huge turn-off. I don't know what mind games means, supply and demand. French Lover smells like Royal Oud for reference. It does smell like Royal Oud. Very similar. They're both based on a material by IFF called Impression Cedarwood Heart, which is in Ostense's. I was actually thinking about wearing this today. Ostense's Impression Cedarwood Heart. Whoops. Do you want to fucking grab? What's happening there? This is really nice. It's actually got a bit darker since the last time I smelled it. A little bit blacker, a little bit tarry. Scent of the Kurdish scent. Well, Brian, and welcome, Carl. Forgive my rudeness for not welcoming you. Scent of the night is Kirk Dijon's new J'adore d'Or. It's not good. Do you know, from the name and the brand alone, I feel like I could have told you that. But it is best to get your nose on it before you make these judgments. You're more qualified to say that than I am, but I'm just being I'm just being dogmatic, you know. I think it's becoming canon now that Coeur de Jon's a shit brand and his perfume is not for the likes of us, you know. I feel all welcome now. Thank you. Thank God. Mind Games is a corporate niche brand in the US that smells lifeless, like AI made it. Just lots of stuff smells like AI made it these days, doesn't it? Oh, lazy, boring, lifeless. I sampled Muscat Jour this week and I like it. It's pretty nice, just from the little spray I got. Happy days. I've got a Muscat Jour up here, but it's just one of them little 10mm ones. I Shan't be replacing it though. There you are. Look, it's got little bits in it. Can you see? Hold on a second. You see the little bits floating around in it? Little red bits. How bizarre. What are those bits? It's a nice, soft, slightly animalic perfume, you know? Absolute Polar Soir is apparently being reworked and should be at some point reproduced. Relaunched, only MFK some people care about. Yeah, I've actually got Absolute Polar Soir here. Good day, Jonathan. Jacques Fat pour l'homme. She was an anomaly, paved the way, says Parfumo. I think the problem is the likes of us are an irrelevant piece of the market, says Scale, to which I would agree with you as well. Our spending power is, while coveted, as they covet all money, while coveted, we are expendable, you know. To get our endorsement is a serious thing, but it's not a deal breaker for them, you know. To get our seal of approval is something that especially smaller brands covet, you know. So smaller brands will take it a lot more. So the bigger brands, it may even be a problem for them, because at that point, if they start caring what people like us think, then it's going to affect their direction, and it's going to deviate from the path that they are on, which is inefficient as far as they're concerned. And we, as Galen says, very few people are as serious as us dorks. Exactly. We are a very small niche of nerds, of people with, look at the state of just look at the background there. Look at all the perfumes I've got there. Who the fuck does that? Well, you do, and I do, but most people don't care. We must take solace in each other and the perfume, you know? It's even the biggest fragrance channels, like remove Jeremy, he's not a fragrance channel. Whatever Jeremy is, it's not a fragrance channel. That was just his in. That was just his foot in the door. So Ashton, the girls, all the girls, with their innuendos and their boobs and their fucking. Well, there are some male fragrance reviewers with boobs, but not necessarily out of choice. Like, and with their fucking suggestive like stuff where they're showing their boobs and their fucking arses, and they're being like, oh, this makes it so horny, and it's lies. I mean, like, it's not the truth, but most people don't care. Most men don't care, you know. What they want is that little titillation. They want that kind of, maybe you've got a chance, which you don't. So the people who are serious about it, you know, the people who are serious about it hang out with other people who are serious about it, you know, as can be seen by Base Notes forums, Fragrantica forums, Parfumo forums, YouTube chats. Do you know what I mean? Like, and then within those things, you've then got separate little issues where people agree with each other. Like, some people from those forums and stuff wouldn't dare talk about perfume on YouTube because it's below them. They will use the written word, by God, you know. Some of them only do it because they think they can monetize the situation. Money is the root of all evil. Not all evil. Some evil's just because people are fucking wrong in their head, but you know what I mean. I would buy that from MFK. Starting to really get into ambers now. Thought they were boring before, says Carl. I'm a big amber fan. I'm going to be wearing more and more ambers. Carl, if you can, find yourself some motherfucking amber fetiche. Find yourself some Mur Ardent. What's the other one? Amber Prosciutto from Maitre Parfumo Arrogantia. They've got some great ambers. Could do a top 10 ambers list. This is fabulous, though. Amber Fetiche. See if you can't get an older bottle, but the newer ones, I think Goutal takes good care of their perfumes, actually. I actually like my last MFK sniffer. The blending is undeniable. It's very, very, very particular. You know? It's very, very particular, isn't it? He's definitely got a style. Like the new Dior, the Dior Riviera, smells like a Coeur de Jean. It smells like a Coeur de Jean in a 250ml bottle. Oh, these anise sweets have done an absolute number on me. I actually liked my MFK. Oh, sorry, I've read that. I know it's not well loved, but I liked Aqua Universalis. I liked Aqua Universalis Forte, though I'd never pay that price. He's massively overpriced, yes. My most compliments have come from Petit Matin, says Lane. Geeks, not nerds, says Skirl. Hope all is well with you, Mitch. Welcome, I Smell. How are you, sir? I Smell did his first live stream the other day, and a great success it was too. What we got here? Duck is a niche inside a niche. Yes. Niche inside niche inside niche. Ever decreasing circles, Brian. That's right. That is right. Fragrances are all about sex appeal and compliments, says Brody. Jabronis, says Stephs. Hello, Professor Melvin. How are you? I'm partially calm, but they've gone to a new level of ridiculous. Yeah, I have no shame, my lane. It's date night. Orientals. Gourmands and fougères. Have no shame. Have no shame in your own taste. If I make anybody feel bad for the stuff that they like, that is not my intent, and I am sorry. If you like all of that MFK stuff, I mean, I've got a couple of MFKs. You can see them in the picture. I've got Absolute Polar Swell. I've got Oud Satin Mood Extra, the massive one. I don't mean to make you feel bad. There should be there is a balancing act between not liking shit perfume and being comfortable with what you do like, though. You know? So be happy and comfortable with what you do like. I say I think it's shit because I think it's shit. If you think it's good, think it's good. Don't be influenced. Think it's good and be happy. Jeremy went serious nuts. Yeah, Jeremy, yeah. It's hard to tell where reality ends and gimmick begins at the minute with him. You know? It's not funny and it's not entertaining anymore. You know? Everybody used to laugh at him, but I mean, his brother's raised the spectre of mental health issues, which is a serious problem for him. You know? And then his brother tried to profit off him as well. So everybody just tries to profit. It's not nice. I'm back. Sorry, I had to go and put something in the bin outside. Oh, blokes want that ode to Erica. I think of a couple of reasons. Most people don't have to rotate the collection either, they just have to get a few fragrance bottles, says Lane. Most people don't, you're right. Has anyone here tried the new formulation of Masculine Plurial, says Carl? You only really care about perfumes if you review them through smoke signals. That's where the word originates from. Just picked up Nishane Annie. My wife said it smells like an old man trying to smell like cotton candy. She doesn't appreciate fragrances like me. Filled with amber woods now, apparently, says Pradeep. Annie really irks me. I don't understand the hype. Absolutely love Amber Fetiche, says Germs. I need to say about that Amber Fetiche, please do. The first amber you said I will try for sure, says Carl. What's your guilty pleasure fragrance, Rich? I've got loads. One of them is 724 from RFK. Just smells like clean laundry, but I like it. Probably my guilty pleasures is the Le Male, the Essence de Parfum, the one with the leather in. It's fantastic. I've no idea why it shouldn't be, but it is. It just doesn't fit in with the rest of the collection at all, but it's brilliant. Kurdijan still talking philosophical in them videos. Dior ads while putting out shite is comical. Yeah, he's become a very front of house kind of guy now, isn't he? He's more like a salesman than he is. He's doing a Roger. I think that's opened up a lot of the whole Roger thing's opened up a lot of opportunities for perfumers and stuff, you know, except Kurdijan is actually a perfumer. Trying the Leon for the first time, says that charming man. How is it? Thumbnails with panties and bras tight, says Pradeep. See, that's how it works. Bowtie fragrance guy just annoys the life out of me, just comes across as a salesman. Jeremy is just a cokehead, now really sad to see, says Ryan. Well, the thing is, if it is coke, then he can always stop. I mean, it's not easy, clearly. As many people, there's like millions of people will testify. It's not easy to knock it on the head. But if it's mental health, then I don't know. Howdy, welcome Divine. Scent of the day is Zerjos Torino 21 at the gym. Was wearing a Milano Fragranze sample before that. Brano, you have a great Instagram page, mate. Always got the info on new stuff and great reviews, says Ryan. That'd be very cool, James. Torino 21 at the gym. It's a strong one to go to the gym, says Ryan. Do you think Creed will change their route under new ownership? I'm interested to see what Kering do with the brand. I'm very interested to see what Kering do with the brand. They're much more invested than BlackRock are. Not financially as well as cosmetically speaking. That's as far as the whole perfume and beauty route is concerned. We will see what Kering has to say. You know, Kering. I've more faith in Kering than I do in BlackRock. Put it like that. But the proof will be in the perfume, as we don't say to kind of. The proof of the perfume is in the smelling. How's that for coining a phrase? You like that, don't you? We'll see. Ow. We'll see. You know? Excuse me whilst I hydrate. Greetings, Tripler. You wearing cologne aficionado? Addictive like drugs. Do you think Creed will change their route? I don't know. Maybe they will. I've got a vintage 95 Le Male. Good grief. I bet that's massive. All big fragrance influencers are shit, says Jute. Sellouts, even. John, I'm going to DM you a little later on, says James. I recently got into Carnal Flower. It's gorgeous. I know you don't like white florals, Rich. I don't. I just shipped off a bottle of Cologne Indelible. So I've sold my Cologne Indelibile. Goodbye, Cologne Indelibile. I need to start sifting through some perfumes that I'm not wearing from the autumn and winter selection as well. But that's a lot harder. That's a lot harder. Sold a lot of perfumes this year. The size of the spring and summer collection has shrank drastically, which I'm happy about, because it means I can wear the stuff that I like more often, or the stuff I love more often. I like nearly all the perfumes I've got, but I love. Guys, wish me luck or condolences. Going to sample Phantom Parfum. Good Lord, better you than me, Brian. Godspeed. Friends, it's that time of the evening again where I say, if you would like to like the stream, please don't let me stop you. And thank you. I appreciate it. Guilty Pleasure Mandarina Duck. Wait. Black and Prada Luna Rossa Sport. Don't know which one I love more, says Scale. Have you smelled Mind Games, Mitch? No, I haven't smelled Mind Games, mate. I'm not entirely sure I want to after what somebody said earlier. Evening all, I'm wearing Violette Valenka and I might be going mad with it. I gave it so much. Are you enjoying it? I know, you bought that when we were on stream, didn't you? Got my sample here. I think it's from Fliss. It's glorious. It's absolutely gorgeous. I might buy a 15ml, but I'm not going to be buying a full bottle of it. Guilty Pleasure Orage Louis Vuitton Great Patchouli, says Carl Charles. Welcome, Carl Charles. How are you? Carrying is actually decently competent, says Duty. Yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking. That's what I'm hoping for, Love to work for BlackRock, reshaping companies and countries while earning millions without giving a shit, says Proudy. Pretty psychotic. Creed need to bring Green Valley back. I've got some Green Valley. Guilty Pleasures, ATH, Forbidden. Love to work for... Oh, sorry. You don't rate Neroli Portofino? No, actually, would you believe? I found a sample. I was going through my minis yesterday, having a look and thinking I really need to do the mini video. And I smelled it and I thought, nope, just don't like it. Just don't like it. It's just one of those things. I don't like white florals. Hello, I'm here again. Welcome, Ty. Scent of the night is aromatic elixir and white parfum. The first one, not the synthetically jarring concoction they're choosing to put out nowadays. Nice. Guys, wish me luck. Sorry, I've read that. Rich, I saw something significant yesterday at my local CVS chemist. 2 Creed showed up, 50ml of Ventus and Silver Mountain water, not yet priced. She scanned them for me. $420 and $388. Oh my God, Erwin, that is pretty chronic. That's a shocking state of affairs as far as pricing's concerned. Creed's always been a lackluster house to me, but hey, Creed pre 2015 was pretty immense. I mean, the lies were absolutely incredible, but apart from that, they were brilliant. The perfumes were really good. I couldn't stop me liking the stream if you tried, Druck, says Tripler. Cheers, Tripler. I used my purple patchouli sample by Tom Ford. It is my favourite private blend. Damn you, Tom Ford, for now bringing it back. Tooty Twilly is the best men's fragrance of 2023, says Pradeep, who's been talking to me about this fragrance for a couple of days. And Taste deodorant is $75 on Amazon. That's silly. Scent of the day is Tom Ford Vert d'Anson. Wish I had a full bottle, not a 5ml decant. I've actually got a 250ml. I've got a huge decanter of that. You know, I forget what they're called now. I think they are actually called decanters. Did you see the new Aaron Terence Hughes'? Shout out to Aaron Terence Hughes for selling 30ml for 30 quid. I don't give a fuck if some of y'all got a problem with the quirkiness. That man is giving decent to good product at cheap prices, says Divine. I don't have a problem with his quirkiness. Oh. Ty says, speak on it. If he can do it, so can everyone else. That's all I'm going to say on that one. Yeah, the price in the perfume. We've sat and complained bitterly about the price in the perfume here for years. Do you like white flowers in nature? Not hugely, if I'm honest. I get a really salty, astringent, salty, not astringent, but almost caustic saltiness from tuberose. Like Nuit de Bakelite's a very salty perfume, in my opinion. Oh, I didn't know you had 250ml of Vert d'Anson. Never seen it in fragrance rotations. It is back there somewhere. Somewhere it is back there. Where is it? I've got it in one of these. No, that's Beau de Jour, which can be worn in early autumn. Here it is. There we are. Vert d'Anson, galbanum. Nice big galbanum note. And Terence Hughes is the same category as Parfum de Marly and Initio. It's a little bit harsh. I think he's a bit better than them. Just with better prices, a secret society. All we got is dark. It is a secret society. Oh, Violette Valenka. A good little perfume, that. I'm a fan. Nigel's first, not a first, but a best for me so far. At the old Hermes. Okay, friends. Excuse me whilst I dehydrate. I'll be back in a minute. Oh, for crying out loud. Oh, sorry friends, I had to wait for my mother there, so I went downstairs and took some poison. You know? Now, while I am up here, I am going to... What am I going to do? Hold up. I am going to... I'm not going to take some tablets. Where the hell are they? Then I am going to have to open up some new ones by the looks of it. What is going on here? Give me this. There they go, in there. Sorry about this. Where are we? Right. Ah, you have to go in the bin now, do you? There we go. Sorry about that. There's something else I want to take as well. I've just taken 13 fucking tablets. How are you? To be fair, that's because the poison comes in tiny little doses. The poison comes in tiny doses, so you have to take like 8 of them. You know what I mean? There we go. So let's see what everyone's been saying whilst I have been gallivanting around the fucking house. Hello from Italy. Welcome, DJ. It's a secret society. All we got is duck. That's right. Quack. Waiting to try out there. I just saw George's review on it and he gave it a 7.5. George who? I can't believe the average rating on Parfumo was 9.0. And people are comparing it to Armani and Azzaro. Shit's a joke. Duck has been dehydrated again. Damn you, Ifra. Damn Ifra. Good evening, Manly Sense. Oda Eric, a new Parfum de Marly review is one of the most testing times. I can imagine that being a... I know exactly what she'll be. Oh my god, this is so amazing. This is so brilliant. Get me on the PR list. That's what I remember about her the most. She was, where was it? Somebody did one of them clip things that you can do on YouTube, and the centers it, and it was her on some stream, and she was like, yes, it was when she had less than 1,000 subscribers. She was like, yes, follow me, watch me, help me get on those PR lists, guys. And I thought, yep, that's you. Bye. What do you want us to say? You know? Anybody that's with that fucking Raphael must be clipped in the fucking head. Prick that he is. Malto Smalto was a tolerable Lily of the Valley. I don't get Lily of the Valley from it. Scent of the Days, Paco Rabanne's Tenaire. I sold that as well. I had a bottle of that and I sold it. Out there is a 6 for me. Well, when the style should have been great for my taste, it's not a top 10 Parfum de Marly, says Brian. I can't believe they've got 10 fucking fragrances, to be honest. The worst fragrance I ever smelled was Ispazon. Ispazon by Parfum de Marly, one of their very first release. It was I don't know what was wrong. Got a sample off Greggy Boy and it was fucking lamentable. It was awful. Sirdar will be posting that shit for like the next 3 months though. I don't know who that is. Haven't tried Althea yet. I'm predicting that it'll be a mere like for me. My hopes for Parfum de Marly diminishing more than anything, says Ty. I used to wear Leighton as a signature when I got into niche. Still like it the most, probably. Hello, DJ. Haltane is my only Parfum de Marly, says supply and demand. I don't know. I really regret my Parfum de Marly and initial buying at the start of my fragrance journey, even though I had to smell them to get where my taste is now. Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. The best thing to do is sell them, put it down to experience, get as much money back for them as you possibly can, and just say that was a learning experience, you know. Oh, I could wear that tomorrow. I always associate Vert d'Anson with November. Althea is my favourite. Starchy iris, soap, and incense. Power tablet. Well, sometimes we'll just think of wearing other things. Yeah. I'm like 50% of the way there. I regret getting bullshit like Percival, but I still enjoy Initio a lot, and I think I'll even add some down the line like Oud for Happiness. Really? Never trust a big butt and smile. Poison. Parfum de Marly infiltrating the chats is triple. Evening, Nick S. Captain Molyneux. I get you, Divine. They do not smell bad or anything. You still use them anytime. Blessed Baraka is one of my top winter dumb reaches, like a boozy cherry vibe type scent that transitions to generic warm woody amber. Yuck. Warm woody amber, eh? It's my idea of hell. Not speaking of MFK, Jeremy and Parfum de Marly, one of the best fragrances I've tried in a while is the new Pure Distance Papilio. Getting it in for full sample review soon. Lane says, I have that Lalique white and black, and it's supposed to smell like Leighton. It's pretty good, sweet and spicy fragrance, but it wears me. I don't have the correct personality for it. Yeah, there are fragrances like that will literally just just carry you around with them. You know, you feel like the spare wheel to the fragrance. Yeah, Blessed Baraka is a decent amber type fragrance. I think it's my favourite Initio as well. Hello, Pat Lester. Welcome. You are wearing number 18. Need to try that one, Pat. It eludes me. I'd say Blessed Baraka and Paragon top 2 from Initio. It's a trash brand. It's a bad brand. Everything I've smelled from them's just been generic and amber wood, synthetic, yawning anger kind of thing, you know, screechy, high pitch, nasty, faux darkness, you know. Oh, excuse me whilst I hydrate. Oh, dear me. Boz, welcome. Sorry, that's out there, and you pick their own stream to rave about Parfum de Marly, says Boz. You can rave about Parfum de Marly all you want. It's just, I think they're shit. You know what I mean? I just think they're a really poor brand. They're just sold for $700 million. You know? That's a lot of money. I do hope all the influencers who pushed their stuff had shares as part of their payment. You know? Because otherwise they've been cheated. I say cheated. They've just been cut out of the deal. You know? I was talking about Althalia, or whatever it is called at this point. I'm not bothered. I wouldn't describe my comments as raving about Parfum de Marly, but hey. Parfum de Marly is actually #1 in the market now, it seems. That's unsurprising. Is this not the Ode Erica first impression of Altair Livestream? No. Strangely. Oh. Strangely, it is not. Althea from the women's line is indeed an actual Parfum de Marly. Scale says $700 million. That's almost a whole transfer window for a mid-table Premier League side. The fucking Premier League's fucking bubble's going to burst at some point as well. Apparently the British fucking mortgage market's going to burst. Lots of people unable to afford their mortgages at the minute, apparently. Lots of people unable to afford their rent, which is possibly worse. So that's going to be fun and games when the fucking market crashes. My next door neighbour, the young family next door, appear to be wanting to move. I think they're going to try and sell their house. So that's fun. Oh, wow, I don't like Creed, so I'm happy, says Buzz. Yeah, Molly, I believe, is now generating 250 million a year versus Creed's 200 million a year. Yikes. I just finished badminton. Good for you. I got smashed in square in the left eye socket with the shuttle. Might give me a black eye. Be surprised if you got a black eye off a fucking shuttlecock. Man, you can't even tip their landlords anymore, so spaced out, yes. Initio independently was around 80 to 90 million a year, if I remember correctly. It's obscene. Pegwell Bay by Hackles, it's magic. I think you would like it, says Carl Scholes. Pegwell Bay. It's an unusual name. It's really a pattern. Show boobs and get millions of views while badly skating, playing guitar many times, others doing it for years is tight. I want to see a fragrance called Suede Head because I love that song, says Buzz. I've been wearing 18 and 1957 on and off. Number 18 is more tolerable to my nose. 1957 is a musk bomb that I can't wear, says Pat Lester. Initio and Parfum de Marly have their market of desperate, naive young men, and they are cashing in properly. Yes. Desperation and sadness and neediness will always get people to part with their money. Bless them. I'm glad I'm not that age anymore. Initial parser. Weird house there. Got a fragrance named after a cemetery. I was wearing Sweetie Oud Roger today, says Peter. Morrissey fan here and the Smiths too, says Buzz. Some girls are bigger than others. When can we expect the amber fragrance video, Rich? Wait until it gets a bit darker and a bit colder, mate. You know? When it's a bit more on topic. I'm going to do the spring and summer most worn video tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow. Fingers crossed tomorrow. Thought about doing it today, but then if I'd done the Bloodline unboxing on Tuesday, I would have done that today, but I'll try and spread things out a little. If they are lurking, how would you know they are there? You can see on your analytics, Peter. I tried Oceana Roja earlier this month and I liked it, but now it's past the season for it. Now and then some irrelevant comments is partly 20% of my audience is female, 80% is male. Mine is more like 98% male. I think it's the swearing. Might be the swearing. Peg will be as a favour if down from Wafts on the Loft. I'll give 15 mil. We'll send you some, says Tim. Thank you, Tim. Tim, you are too good to me. That's another thing I want to talk about Lily as well. It will be a cozy video. It will be a cozy video. The Roger that I absolutely love is Amber Oud. Once I smelt that, the others didn't really matter to me, but having known my fickleness, I'll be saying the opposite next. Yes, says Ty. You are more than entitled to change your mind. Especially in matters of taste. I was wearing Enchanted Forest yesterday and it's definitely grown on me. I want to see how it reacts in the winter. I was wearing, oh sorry, very poor, like 2 hours, says Divine. Yikes. On Oceana. Good grief. 99% on male for most male reviewers. Yeah, I review masculine male fragrances all the time. Like, constantly. Rarely do I wear unisex or like female marketed stuff. I've got some, don't get us wrong. And I would buy something even if it's marketed towards women if I loved it. This is just the way I just buy stuff that I like. And it appears that the stuff I like is vintage classic masculine stuff. Your mother's arse. I just fucking spilled that water all down us. Fuck's sake. Ugh. I am wet. What the fuck? Sick. I am now wet. Roger is what I hate about niche, making people think they're expensive is best. Absolutely. Supplying man, I wasn't going to mention it since I've done so countless times before, but you said it, yes. I actually love Taif Oud. It was less expensive. I'd buy it over Musk Amber and Oud, says Brian. 90% on male for female reviewers too. Yes. It smells awesome. I've got a 7.5 of Boiling Arcade, but I can spritz it right now on my left hand and it will probably be gone by the time I'm going to be within an hour. Oceana, that is. Actually, I don't know if a female ever appeared on my stream, but next Sunday it's going to change. Margie is guesting, says Boz. Yay. Every day is. Natural habitat. Where's water off a duck's arse? It hasn't actually spilled on us. It's gone all the way down the front. Wet duck. That's right. Well, you have women on this channel. Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, I do. The women we have here are much treasured. I think females view makeup stream rather than fragrance. And they go on. I think a lot of females want somewhere where they can go without the fucking threat of male presence. You know? They want some places where they can go to get away from men and men's unwanted attention, frankly. Which can you blame them? You know? Like a lot of people, a lot of women turn up into general places, not just live streams and stuff, just in general life, and all the men are like behaving in certain ways towards them that they don't behave towards other men in, you know? And it's not nice. It's not nice to see. I only watch a select few people on here. You, Ramsey, Gabby, Arlene, Tom, Claire, etc. Nobody else seems to be grabbing my attention at the moment. I'm always open to recommendations, says Ty. Oh, and Persiles, he's spectacular. Persiles did a stream with the Amouage creative director the other day, and I couldn't watch it. Couldn't watch it, unfortunately. A little bit close to that brand for me. Apparently somebody came to us and said it was like a marketing exercise. But I didn't know. I don't know because I didn't watch it. But on the internet you don't have to. You can be undercover, says Paul Parfumo. Yes. I personally don't think of perfume for men and for women. I watched it online when they were at Scent Explorer New York last year. It was a fucking waste of time spewing marketing bullshit, says Divine. Yeah. He pointed out their privilege at least. Watch Claire, aka Smurfy Girly, you all. She's great. She is great. She is fantastic. I've been watching Smurfy Girly for years and years. Years and years and years. She is an OG. I haven't spoken to Claire for a while, actually. She just did a video about the new... she just did a video about the new... Guerlain Millésime Iris. I actually have a sample of Claire's perfume here. She sent me one. And since she sent me it for free, I didn't talk about it. Hush Hush. EDT. She did it with 4,160 Tuesdays. It is iris, violet, a little bit of smoke. It's interesting. It's good, actually. So you could try that if you want, if you like that, but it's the violet in it's a little too violety for me. It's not something I would wear, sorry. They made a cigarette paper record. There's nothing smoky in there. I got something smoky from it. I haven't smelled it for a while, actually. I'll give it another sniff. The Amouage live stream was a hard watch, made it 4 minutes. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not being party to fucking marketing stuff. I couldn't watch it, it was bad, says Pulp Ephemeral. Yeah. I mentioned Claire, she's also great. She has got a very good nose. She does have a very, very good nose. Last year at Scent Explore called Search, New Odyssey scent, a citrus fragrance built for longevity, and then they just made a green incense fragrance with lemon spritzed on top. Comedy hour, says Divine. Apart from Damali and Initio, I had to smell doers to get where I am today, says Supply and Demand. Very nice. Now do Les Abstray. I shan't. Well, I suppose that is your opinion. Fragrance is subjective, but Sarah herself did say that she didn't want to make it smoky as in cigarette smoke, but the paper casing, if you will. I understand. I definitely got something smoky from it. That's what I remember anyway. I haven't smelled it for a while. I can't imagine if I've had to start a dog shit like Dua or even Montal Mansara phone here chat shit about Initio Parfum de Mali, but for Rookie Noses screams Initio and Parfum de Mali screams rich. That's a good point as well. I had a bottle of Herod. I paid like £100 for it. I got it from Notino. You go on Notino now and see how much the Parfum de Malis are selling for. It is not £100. Lots of people complained on how Scent Explore was run. I guess most didn't receive a sample bag. I got mine sent via mail. Scent Explore, that's something that I'm not getting involved in either. My kingdom for a nose, says Bob. I never watched Scent Explore. Let me see who is here. Duo's never crossed my mind, but if money is a question, I understand. The thing with Duos, and I mean, I wouldn't go to Duo because they're just so blatantly fucking egregious with the way they are. The if I don't know what I would do. I would just buy cheap vintages, but modern versions of them. You know, like Koros. You can get Koros for like 30-35 quid. You know, Azaro Porom, Fahrenheit, rather than pay the money for Duos. I understand why people buy clones, because clones are cheaper, and the price of designer and niche perfume now is absolutely ridiculous. You know? It's obscene, like. Like getting a Bond number 9 or a Dura, it's the same juice so far, trade-off. I do appreciate Dura opened me to a big world, but got tired of the shite quality going bad. Yeah. Dura give blind people a silver lining to their disability. Oof. I don't regret any perfume purchase. They all contributed to where I am today. They don't. Those I don't like, I let go. I sell stuff all the time. Yeah, I've started selling stuff off. And it felt good, to be honest. Good evening, all. Edits for you. How are you doing? Does someone know when Les Odorant's podcast starts again? I missed them, guys and girls. I'm to believe that they recorded an episode on Sunday gone, so it should be up any day now. I love that outlook on the whole perfume journey thing, says Ty. Like getting Essence is basically the big dog of fragrance events, like 200 brands. Sun Explores like the entry-level tier of events, and max 30 to 40 brands with big buys towards the US indie scene. Everything about max 40 seems contrived. Absolutely it is. Absolutely it is. There's something not right, you know? Some people say he's a vampire. I don't know about that. He says everything's fucking discontinued as well when it's not. I tried new Fahrenheit for the first time the other day. I liked it. Maybe it's slightly lighter and greener, but I'm tempted to buy it, says Ty. I have a couple of vintage ones. I actually have a newer bottle as well. I've got a 2017 bottle. Lol, Max knows his stuff in my opinion, says Boz. I know he has his haters, but who doesn't? I wish Max included some more criticisms, but otherwise I like his content because he's always on top of new stuff. Juice to Rose tried to keep up with new releases and quit within 6 months, says Divine. Well, the thing is that he gets paid. He's got rate sheets to do that, you know? He's got rate sheets, how much they charge for what they say. Giving criticisms would affect how much he can charge, you know? Hello, Rachel, how are you? Yes, I hope something happens to make them lower the prices. Of course, it's just a dream, says Paul Parfumo. EDP, I was thinking it was Parfum, half asleep and duty free, but was pleasantly surprised when I put the bottle back down. Max discontinued his haters. Thanks a lot, Rich. Looking forward to that, says Edits for you. Max 40 adores CK Eternity, enough said. I owned a vintage 10mm. Was looking for another one months ago, but I might try to move on with the times. Friends, yesterday I was given a present. Well, I received a present. And that present was Bloodline by Hans Hendley, who sells through American Parfumo. I asked Lily to enter the raffle, the lottery for me, and she said yes. And she won and got the opportunity to buy a bottle of Bloodline, which was nice. And so she did. And then, as I explained in the video, she procrastinated on telling me how I could send her the money. For months I tried. And she held off and held off. And then she sent it last week and it arrived yesterday. So I went down to pick it up. I picked it up, got it, confirmed receipt, and I said, how much can I pay? And then I opened it up, and inside the package was a little note with my name on it. And I read the note, and she said, you can consider it an early birthday gift, which was too nice, and I felt emotional. And so this is why I own Bloodline, a perfume I have been chasing for years. And I have been chasing this for years. It's absolutely fucking fantastic. It is like a campfire. The cedar note that is used in here is absolutely spectacular. The juice is so dark. The juice is so dark you can barely see through it. And I mean barely. And that's when I hold it right up to the light. In fact, at the thickest parts, you can't actually see through it. I really like the bottle though. This is definitely like a November, late October, early November, mid-November perfume. You know, like between like the 21st of October and the 30th of November, that kind of time. So thank you, Lily. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And I have much love for you. She is very kind. I see everybody's wanting to talk about something else. I've been desperate to try some TNRP creations. There's one called Nui, isn't there? It's one I'd love to get my hands on. I'm thinking if that's right. If I'm thinking right, that is. Bit hard for us to talk about Bloodline. Never smelled that in my life. It's a good brand, actually. If you go on the American Perfumer website, I think you can get. I think you can get samples, but I don't know. I don't know if they'll ship to you. Hans used to send them out because I was in touch with Hans for a while, actually. And he used to ship perfumes out to lots of different people. And he sent me a sample set, which I bought. And it was good. And I was pretty impressed with it. It's fantastic. Very good. Probably the best indie perfume I've smelled is Bloodline. That material is fucking amazing. Whatever it is that he's using. And just the amounts of the other stuff that he uses as well. It's so good. Oh. There's no sample of Bloodline though. There are all the other ones. I have zero exposure to knowledge of American perfume. There's literally like 200 cents here. No idea where to start. Hendley. Start with Hendley. You could also try Oz's stuff, and I can't remember the name of Oz's brand. Le Motif Olfactive. You'll not get samples of Bloodline. It's very difficult. I think you only get samples of Bloodline when you buy bottles of Bloodline. You need to get started on the Argos set. Rich thrust me. I will not thrust you. Although I will be getting started on a new sample set soon. I'm just not sure which one. Maybe it will be. Ember Renaissance on its way. On its own was 180 or something though. That's not in sale. I have no idea what you people are talking about. Some people are talking about big fat lips. Some people are talking about perfumes I don't know about. So I'm not sure what's going on. I'm not sure what I'm going to wear tomorrow. I'm never sure what I'm going to wear the next day until the next day rolls around, actually. Why would they use ambroxan? Says RP Rentals, who then deletes it. I think American Perfumer do just that. American Perfumes, my last brush with Imaginary Authors stuff, they just made me sneeze. Not good. Imaginary Authors, it's a brand I've never been that interested in. They got quite a lot of purchase. They got quite a lot of traction in the community about 6, 7, 8 years ago, long before the pandemic. See you later, boss. American perfumers do sell American perfumes. But whether they sell them outside the country or not, I don't think they do anymore, actually, which is a shame. Why in 2023 would they still use ambroxan in Althea? Because it's a sure thing. It's a sure thing for them, you know. DJ is back. Did you fall asleep at 3 o'clock, DJ? Yeah, I didn't get a free one with the Embers order though, but I did with the 2 from the clearance. Maybe random. No, being out and about in Italy. DJ was drinking before 9 o'clock this morning. Weren't you, DJ? DJ has been enjoying his Italian holiday so far. God, I regret spraying Phantom perfume. Yes, there is a certain cut-off point at night when I will not spray certain perfumes. I will not spray any perfumes. You know? Phantom, I imagine, is just awful. Just absolutely foul. You know? It's bad at night, but I'd be embarrassed to wear it outside during the day. What's it like? Is Phantom the one with the penis? With the helmet? The tip? My molten brown neon amber shower gel has ambroxan, and that's probably where it should be used. Still waiting for my sample of Phantom Parfum to arrive. I've got my Femme Parfum sample, which I don't mind. I can already say that it's less abrasive than what I imagine Phantom Parfum to be. DJ says Uzu is wank and the new Shalimar wanker flanker. Are you not a fan of the Millesimeris? Ryan says it smells like an obnoxious teenager. It's Lamar aromatic, vanilla-ish, and plus rhubarb fruitiness. I think the only thing I think worth smelled lately is 1 million elixir. I hate Phantom. It's fucking awful, says Nick. Ty Fame is miles better. Good grief. Good grief. My friends, what is going on? Whoa. Should you try YSL Pour On? Yeah, I had a bottle. And I sold it. I wasn't a massive fan, to be honest with you, which is unusual because it's usually the type of fragrance, but there's something about that fragrance that I really don't like. And it's not just the lemon. I don't like lemon. I find the whole Millesime limited edition gimmick in bad taste. It's not very girl on. It's not very classic girl on. It's very on brand with what girl on's become recently. But yeah, I definitely prefer Fame. The OG smelled like a Glade plug-in, but despite that, I can appreciate it, says Ty. Plan to check out Santa Maria Novella this week if I have time, says DJ. Get thee right in there. Citruses are too candied in the opening and the dry down's too skanky, says Nick. What are we talking about? Phantom. Lately I've been procuring so many masterpieces into my collection that the newer releases simply don't wow me anymore, says Ty. Kind of what happened to me, you know? I felt like vintage perfumes were time limited because they might disappear at any time. Somebody else might buy them. Somebody else might like them. So I decided to go for them, and really I've never looked back. Modern perfumes just repulse me at the minute, to be honest with you. I feel a very strong sense of ick, you know? Thought Guerlain would do a smoky, leathery iris for Shalimon, not a sweet iris. Guerlain Tobacco Honey has a tonker and oud. Gonna skip it. Yeah. It's got loads of amber wood in it, apparently. I thought Guerlain would do a... Sorry, I've read that. YSL Pour On is a dirty lemon. Yikes. Have you smelled the vintage one? Claire's review revealed that the Millesime Iris doesn't even have the name on the bottle, label, or box. That's cheap, says Tim. That is cheap, Tim. That is very cheap. I enjoyed that. I want to watch that video again, actually. Claire's videos, some of the only fragrance videos that I can watch more than once. She really does have a fucking brilliant nose. If everything is a masterpiece, it's truly a masterpiece. Is it truly a masterpiece, says DJ? No. The bad news from Santa Maria Novella is they've discontinued Nostalgia, says Nick Nestros. Oh no. Hello, Galfar. How are you? I hope you are well. Is the extra price of 34 Boulevard Saint-Germain worth comparing the EDT? Which is the one I've got? You don't need that. You don't need the EDP. I think the EDT is a better fragrance. I think the EDT is a better fragrance. Is the EDP worth the extra money? Probably not. Sold my Oud Palau recently. I sold it for like 80 quid. I was very surprised to learn that Oud Palau is going for about £148 on the website. It's not worth that. It's good fragrance. It's not that good. It's got a lot of amber wood in there as well. Upsetting. Afternoon, Micah. How are you? You are wearing Laura for men. Nice. Out of 1,200 things I reviewed and probably 2,500 smelled, I own 100 that I love, of which maybe 20 I would call a legit masterpiece. You've got to keep it rare. Yes, absolutely. I totally agree with you. Masterpiece. Masterpiece is a strong word. To have multiple doesn't make sense to me personally. No, I would agree. There's an element of rarity which has to be ascribed to masterpieces, because it's like well, I mean, you could call it masterpiece inflation, couldn't you? If everything's a masterpiece, it all becomes worth less. Not worthless, but just worth less. You know, it's as simple as that. It's like it. Like I rarely use that word masterpiece. You know, rarely use that word masterpiece. Would I call Egoist a masterpiece? No. Is it a brilliant fragrance? Yes. Would I call it a masterpiece? No. Enchanted Forest. I love Enchanted Forest. Would I call it a masterpiece? No. Oh God, what else? Encre Noir. It's a brilliant fragrance. Is it a masterpiece? I'm more hesitant to say no than I am about those two other fragrances. Rich, give me 3 Iris recommendations. I've been sampling Iris fragrances recently, says Pat Lester. I wore today. What did I wear today? I wore Belle Arme today by Eugene's brand. What else? Iris Poudre by Iris Poudre by Frederick Malle. Sorry, I had a complete brain fart there. Iris Sandra by Naomi Goodsir. That is fantastic. More Iris, you say? Dior Homme 2005. I imagine you've smelled that. Herries. Herries by Hermes. Oh God, honestly, this Iris Sandra's so good. It's so good. It's so fucking good. It's so good. Violet and Iris. Usually I'm not a big Violet fan. The way it's used in this is it's just very, very well done. You know. Samsara and Eau de Guerlain are also masterpieces. A lot of Guerlains which qualify for masterpiece. Would I necessarily call them all masterpieces? No. There's a lot of the Guerlains that I like, the classic feminine Guerlains that I don't like, that I would call masterpieces. And there's a lot of them that I do like that I wouldn't. You have to try and be as objective as you can. Ambra Sultan, masterpiece. Ambra Sultan's a masterpiece. It could be Sheldrake's masterpiece. I mean, at the same time, I mean, we could do a stream on this. To be fair, me and Eugene sat and we were going to do a stream on like masterpieces, and we sat for ages just talking about what qualifies as a fucking masterpiece. You know. So Jutons, for me, Féminité du Bois might be a masterpiece. Have you smelled the Shiseido version, which is better? The Shiseido version's better. I can say that unstintingly with no hesitation whatsoever. Chypre Palatine is a masterpiece, says Dushan. Coromandella's up there. Never smelt it. We're gonna do a stream on this, almost dedicated to this, because this will get a lot of people very emotionally and intellectually engaged. Masterpiece live stream, yes. Eugene is a masterpiece, says Dushan. Sergei is a bigger masterpiece, says Spaced Out. Can you have different sized masterpieces? Anuj is a masterpiece. Also, yes. Signature Parfumo is a masterpiece, says Supply and Demand. Who by? Heritage is a masterpiece, says Pat Lester. Look at the comments, are going mental with people talking about masterpieces. Too subjective to the user. That is a great problem. Farron had one man's masterpieces, another man's trash. Yes. Scent Mitsuko ripped off literally Coty Shipra. That is the icon scent. Vintage Patou Joy Parfum, maybe one. It's the masterpiece. Panty Dropper, says Brian. There's a Horoff signature pour on, says Supply and Demand. I actually really like signature pour on. I bought my bottle, by the way. And I really like it. There's a Horoff arm dealer pour on. It's unfair to use that against George. He's not responsible for what his granddad did, though, is he? You know? See, he didn't do that. He wasn't a part of that. Does Eugene have a masterpiece potential release yet? Easily Bellam would be out the top option out of the three for me, says Brian. You've Wild is a masterpiece. A horror of arm dealer pour on Patou 1000. They can coexist with one another. I think Mitsuko and Shipra are both impeccably created. Mitsuko cannot forget that one. Mitsuko was an evolution of Shipra. So what I'm thinking is, what we could do is, right, we could spend the first hour of a stream saying, discussing what a masterpiece is, how you define a masterpiece, and we could spend the second hour discussing which fragrances are masterpieces and why we think that. What I might do is I might do a StreamYard stream for that and just have a few people on, you know. Brian, would you come on? Never smelt it, says Heritage. There's a lot of people says that. Amber in a Way is a masterpiece. Number 5 is a masterpiece. I would have to agree with that. Number 5 is because... Oh... Is it not just a classic? What's the difference between a masterpiece and a classic? Balenciaga Paul Homme is a masterpiece. See, I would say that as well, Splinter. Splinter knows just what to say to me to get me to roll over and tickle me tummy. What? I should come on one day, but I make no promises. I'm very shy. Don't be like that. It's Fliss. Welcome, Fliss. Fliss, you should come on for that. Me and Fliss have been discussing recently the incense stream that we're going to do, where Fliss will come on and educate us all up on the greatness of incense and her love thereof. And then another stream, and now we will do a masterpiece stream as well. It's a nightmare. Me and Eugene talked about it for hours. We were going to do this masterpiece stream, and in the end, we just ended up talking about what makes a masterpiece, not that something was. Classics are often masterpieces, but some very niche, small offerings can be masterpieces, but will never be a classic. Okay, let's continue. Nautica Voyage is a classic, is a masterpiece, says Galfot. We're going to have to split this. This could become like an ongoing series, you know? Classics versus masterpieces. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. Good grief. I've put away a couple of bottles of Buxton tonight. Nothing as interesting as wine, but you know what I mean. Uncut Gem is not a masterpiece, Nick S., you rascal. Accident a la Vanilla is a masterpiece, is Supply and Demand. I've never even heard of that. I have a masterpiece, is DJ. Prada Amber is a masterpiece. Which one? Prada Amber Pour On? The chat's going madness. The chat's going insane. It's absolutely loving the masterpiece palaver. Let's not forget Platinum Egoist. I've been trying to forget Platinum Egoist for years. Scentline could make a top 1000 masterpieces videos, is Manly Sense. No, Prada Amber. She's talking like the female one. Like the original one. And the third is that it changes generations of artists or scientists to think about the field. The first is that the work is so original that it overwhelms us by its power. The second is that it stands the test of time. I would agree with that. I would agree with that. Second one is absolutely spot on. It's got to have withstood the test of time. Because there are lots of stuff that gets released and then people are like, this is a masterpiece. You know, Eau de Hermes, it's hard to argue that Eau de Hermes is an absolute masterpiece. You know, does there have to be a bit of genius about it, like a quantum leap? Does there have to be does it have to be at like right angles to all other perfumes, or does it have to be, or all other elements of the craft, or does it have to be an incremental? Is it that final incremental change that makes it the best of the bunch? You know, is that what makes the masterpiece? Ganymede is the real masterpiece of this decade. Fight me, says Brian. Brian, don't say fight me. I'll get you. Egoist is the only one I consider 100% a masterpiece. See, I don't think Egoist is a masterpiece. I love it. I love it thoroughly. Heartily, I do. I tells you. Is it a masterpiece? I don't think it is. Paco Rabanne Pour Homme. Is Paco Rabanne Pour Homme a masterpiece? I couldn't just sit there and say outright that I think it's a masterpiece, but I'm leaning more towards yes. How can Egoist be a masterpiece if sandalwood cologne is better and cheaper? Because you've never smelled the vintage. Or have you smelled the vintage? I don't know. There needs to be an element of audacity, but it can stand on the shoulders of other work. Rose de Jamal is a fucking masterpiece. I think Rose de Jamal is... is it a masterpiece or do I just fucking love it? I really like that fragrance. Seriously, like out of all the perfumes I've got, it's one of the best smelling ones. You know? Absolutely. Dryad is a legit modern masterpiece. I don't think I've smelled that. Or have I? Is that a Liz Moore's? Bellamy is a masterpiece. I don't know that it is. Is Eau Noir a masterpiece? No. But is it a cult classic? Isn't Demodable has huge masterpiece potential, but don't have it yet? Does there need to be an element of success about what makes a masterpiece? You know, does it have to be does it have to fit all of those like criteria? Does it have to be commercially successful as well as critically acclaimed? It's basically like art, right? It's exactly like art. It's exactly like art. It's exactly what it is. You know? I will do some online research, by which I mean I'll watch a couple of YouTube videos and see what the nerds are saying and how they class a masterpiece, you know. I'm starting to think of like Velasquez, who is like the painter's painter, you know, like, and I think he genuinely made more than one masterpiece. He did Las Meninas, which is obviously one of the greatest paintings ever painted, because it's been incomplete since the King and Queen of Spain died. He did Las Hienderas, which was the first painting to encapsulate the idea that the human eye had a frame rate. Commercial success doesn't count. Van Gogh sold like 2 paintings, right? Somebody kept buying his paintings. Was it not his brother? Do you know it wasn't his brother that made him famous? It was his brother's wife. She put the graft in. Eugene Duck's live stream about Kurdijan not having a soul as a masterpiece. Dior 2005 is a confirmed masterpiece, says Spaced Out. It's hard to disagree with that, because that really did change the dial, you know? That whole softer, feminine metro, it became like the whole metrosexual man became a thing in the mid to late 90s, and the early 2000s, and it felt like Dior Homme was just like that kind of peak, sharp edge of that. It's not a sharp fragrance, that's not what I'm saying, but it became that kind of the crest of the wave. It became the pinnacle of that kind of movement. I have Rose de Jamal too, Rich, and I have to get to know it and get used to it. Why do you like it so much? What is it about you that you love? I'd like to know. I think it's the mint and the rose. And the rose is absolutely gorgeous in it, but I think the way they use the mint with the rose, it's fucking glorious. Like, absolutely stunningly. It's the way it smells, not from the bottle, but when it's in the wild, you know? It's a beautiful thing. It really is. I'll tell you what Rose de Jamal's got. Rose de Jamal's got that kind of sort of. This is another thing about masterpieces as well. With a masterpiece, there always feels like there's that kind of 1% of the composition, whether it's like art or whether it's music or whether it's fucking, like whatever it is, right? It's got that 1% of its composition that you can't explain why it's so fucking good. And it's that little bit that kind of fucking just like, it makes it almost mystical. It makes it almost kind of like it's one of those things that make people wonder, like if there is like something outside of ourselves, like God or like the universe or aliens or whatever it is you want to call it. And it's that kind of unexplainability, and you've got the nerds, and all the nerds will be like, and the scientists who are like, we will try and figure out why this is, and it's a noble thing, but there's only so much data and stuff like that can do for you in them circumstances, There's only so much, like, that there is something intrinsically special that you can't justify empirically, as much as I would like to, as much as like we would like to, we'd like to know what makes things special so we could bottle it and some fucker could sell it and make a mint, There's that's just what we are and what we're doing here, It's unexplained. And on that note, I'm gonna go, my friends. I'm gonna go. Somebody's just mentioned Tour de Hermes, Spaced Out. Never understood the hype on Tour de Hermes. There are different ways to get to masterpieces, and I wouldn't necessarily call Tour de Hermes a masterpiece, but it is so clever. It is so deft and smart, and it leads you down. I mean, is it a masterpiece because it's so simple? you know. I go back to this phrase all the time. Any idiot can make the simple complicated, but it takes true genius to make the complicated simple. And it feels like that's what Jean-Claude Elena did and does, and he did with Tour de Hermes. But anyway, I'm going. My tongue is a little bit fucking wounded. I started this stream by telling you all that I had injured my tongue on some aniseed sweets, which have essentially nuked my tongue. And now I'm off. That masterpiece chat was amazing. Absolutely amazing. Bear it in mind. Log it. Don't let me forget. We're doing a masterpiece stream. We'll get Fliss on here. And we'll all have a marvelous time, you know. Anyway, I'm off. Thank you very much. Oh, hello, Smurvy Girlie. Smurvy Girlie, we have been blowing smoke up your bum all night. Telling everybody, saying about how good of a nose you've got. Anyway, I am going this time, I promise. I will see you all again soon. Thank you very much for joining me. Thank you for liking. And I will enjoy your patter at length another day. Good night.